right, you listen to Table 12 Podcast. Danny Barr, Paul Marino, Rob Klein on the board. Gentlemen.
How you doing?
Good afternoon.
Got your phone on vibrate?
Yes, I do.
All right, good.
I do.
Before we start anything, happy birthday to your beautiful daughter.
Maria's birthday today. Yeah. So what? She's 37. 37.
I'm telling you, it might have been my first year on the council or school board, one of the two, where I attended her 8th grade graduation.
Right.
And I just remember saying, I don't think I've ever seen a kid more poised and collected
than she was. She made a pretty good speech for her 8th grade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's done well with herself. So.
Yeah. She's doing well. Got some things in the works. But she's working for ESPN part-time, doing special spots on like WNBA and NBA. But she's, since you had the baby, she's kind of scaled it back a little bit for the time being.
Sure, yeah.
But now she's looking to ramp it back up, so hopefully some things happen.
Well, good. She's very good at what she does.
Thank you. So you took a historic trip this weekend, I think. Or I should say the trip wasn't historic, but you went to historic.
Well, I mean, it was historic for me. It was the first time I've ever done it. I live 2 hours from Philadelphia, and I tell all this history, and I've never gone to Philadelphia to see the sites. I've driven through it. I've had to go there for work, but I've never been a tourist there.
Yeah, I've been there like 3 times, twice on business, but I've never done any kind of touring. I was there for the business and right out.
It's a small city. Mm-hmm. I can tell you that. The only reason why we used our car was because of thunderstorms. Everything we did was within walking distance. We stayed at it's actually called the Wyndham Historic District Hotel. And, and this was planned. I planned it this way to be able to walk to all the sites. But there's a new museum there that I was really excited to see called the Museum of American Revolution. And that was very cool. Brand new place, just opened, I think, in 25. But really well done. Then we, after seeing that, we spent the morning. What I did was they offer a before opening tour. So the museum opens at 10. They offer a tour at 9. And that's what we did.
Right.
And then we went to Independence Hall, and I found out that they're open from 9 to 9:50 without a ticket or any tour. After that, it's tours only, and they were booked. So we actually couldn't get into Independence Hall that day. That was Saturday.
So you couldn't even go in the morning? You couldn't go before it opened?
Well,
9 to 9:50?
Well, we had a tour at the other museum at 9.
Oh.
So, and then the Liberty Bell, we walked over to the Liberty Bell. The line to get in to see that was an hour and a half long.
I saw the picture.
And 94 degrees out and humid. Like, there's no way we were doing that. So when we were at Independence Hall, I was talking to one of the rangers, and he's like, listen, at 9 o'clock they open. There's no admission. There's no tours, but you can go in and look around at your leisure. So I said to everybody, why don't we do that? Sunday, even though we were leaving, let's come back, be here 8:30, 8:45, and see what it's like.
Right.
And it was just a 5-minute walk from the hotel. We get there, boom, went right in, looked around, went to the Liberty Bell, no line, walked right up to the bell.
So Independence, they signed the Declaration in that
Yes.
hall? Is that big picture up, the picture of them, the mall?
No, the room is there. But, and it's not something you really think about, but the only piece of furniture that's original in that room is George Washington's chair. And the reason for that is the British looted and busted and burned everything because the British took over Philadelphia.
Yeah, for a little bit. Yeah.
So they looted Independence Hall. So there's like nothing left except for that one chair that was somehow protected.
Right.
But it's set up. It's all replaced with replicas. So you can see how it's a very small room. But there's only 52 signers, so that you didn't need a lot of room for.
And like you mentioned, that we were talking about that picture, that famous picture that was in even John Adams, and it's really not right because they weren't all in the room at the same time signing like it depicted in the picture. Remember that picture?
Right. Well,
the
it's
painting.
I have one in my house.
Yeah.
And it's painted by John Trumbull.
Right.
And it hangs in the rotunda of the Capitol building. Only 6 people signed on July 4th.
They were signing in all different times.
August 2nd.
They're traveling, right? They're
Right. August 2nd is really the day that
the last people.
the last person signed in September.
Okay.
But Trumbull took, I mean, he painted that 20, maybe 10 years after. But what he did was he collected, some of the people weren't even alive anymore when he painted that. But what he did was he collected images of everybody, either from family or from themselves. They sat for him, whatever. And then he did a depiction of what it might have looked like had they all been there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what that's
what it was.
But it's a magnificent painting.
Yeah.
And I have one, I have a print of it, but it's an early 19th century print. It's like 1820, framed in my house. I love it. And Lewis Morris, who had the farm in Hamburg, is in that painting because he signed.
Yeah, when I watched the John Adams, because I love that show that it was just on for July 4th, the HBO.
The Paul Giamatti one?
Yeah. And it amazes me. Like, we get in the car, we got to drive all the way to Philadelphia, and we're in a car. We're there in 2.5 hours. When he said he was going to Philadelphia, he's leaving Boston, and he's like, he's on a horse.
9 days.
I got to go all the way to Philadelphia.
Right, yeah.
It's a big deal.
How
they traveled back then.
I actually thought about that driving home from Philly. That, like, you can't put it in perspective.
No, I mean, he's sleeping on the ground 8 nights to get there, right?
Right.
And he went by himself. I mean, they didn't go like with a caravan.
Yeah, no, that's some of them did.
Some of them did, but sometimes they had to go by himself, like from his farm. He had the farm. It's crazy.
The document I have signed by Lewis Morris is actually a receipt, or it's not a receipt, it's a bill for his travel expenses to get from the Bronx, which is where his estate was, to Philadelphia.
Right.
And it's $9.
Yeah.
$9 was his bill for the travel expenses.
So you went out to dinner at night, or?
Yeah, we had a couple of good meals. I went to an Italian restaurant. No, I did not have a cheesesteak.
Well, I wasn't going to ask you. You told me you don't eat meat.
Everybody asks about cheesesteaks. We didn't even think about it, to be honest with you. But Saturday night, we went to a restaurant called Mashulu, which is a tall ship that is docked on the Delaware in the port, which they really have done a beautiful job fixing up this port. A lot of entertainment, stuff like that. And it's their version of Midtown Manhattan with all the sightseeing ships, the dinner ships.
South Street.
Yeah.
Manhattan.
Where you could take the boat out for dinner and what have you. That they kind of have the same thing. But Mashulu's just docked. It doesn't sail. But it's an old 19th century sailing ship. And I had gone there back in the 80s, and I remember loving it. So I rolled the dice that it was still good.
It was a restaurant?
It's a restaurant.
Oh.
And you could eat up on the deck if the weather's nice, or you can eat inside the ship, which is what we did. But I rolled the dice and thought, 40 years later, let's see if it's still good. We all pretty much agreed it was the best dining experience of our lives.
What kind of, was it a seafood restaurant?
It's everything. It's an American menu.
Steak.
So seafood, steak, but fine dining. Really well done. Very rustic. It's 19th century decoration. But Jimmy and I had steak. I had octopus for an appetizer. It was really just the best bread. They have their own bread, and it's the best bread I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything was the best. So completely worth it. Great. It was Jimmy's birthday.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So that was a real highlight.
Yeah.
And then we went to Betsy Ross's house, which was very tiny.
Was she home?
She was not home.
Oh.
But married 3 times. Her first husband's name was Ross, but she was married 3 times, and she lived to be in her 80s.
Wow.
She was an embroiderer. That was her
Did
vocation.
you have her spinning wheel in the living room?
They had her where she did her embroidery, her shop. Yeah, no spinning wheel. They did it by hand, and it was tight. They definitely didn't meet ADA compliant,
No.
but
Nothing back then did.
But yeah, it was a really interesting weekend. It was fun. Yeah, the storm came in and out. We dodged it, and it was hot. A lot of walking, but it was good. Oh, and I did the Rocky Steps.
Did you walk up?
I did. I very gingerly.
But
You
got
didn't
up?
run?
You didn't stop?
No, and there's no railing.
You didn't stop and rest?
72 steps. I did not stop. But I took my time. I forgot my knee brace.
Did you put your
So-
Did you put your hands up in the air when you got to the top,
Yes.
like Rocky?
Yeah. Well, you had to get online to do that.
Oh,
So-
really?
But so the statue is there.
But it's not on the top anymore.
It's on top.
Oh, it is.
So here, this is kind of strange. So the original statue from the movie Rocky III is inside the museum because they've set up an exhibit for Philadelphia boxing. But that was originally up top. Then it was moved to the bottom, to the side, and then it was moved into the museum. When Stallone moved out of California because he didn't want to pay the taxes. He moved to Florida. Well, he had another statue made to keep in his house. This thing is gigantic. It's very strange that someone would do that. But when he moved, he donated that one to the city of Philadelphia. So they put that one back on top of the steps.
Oh, okay.
And they're finishing up a statue of Joe Frazier at the bottom, which is a really great statue. Really well done. That's at the bottom. And then once that's finished, they're going to move the Rocky statue back to the bottom and kind of make it a boxing tribute.
Right.
But yeah, there was a line to take your picture with the statue, but we did it.
Right. Well,
We
you're
took
there.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
But, saw the view like that Rocky saw, it was neat. I was glad I did it.
Now, what's the name of that? That building is actually a functioning library? Or?
No, it's an art museum. It's
an art
the
museum.
Philadelphia Art Museum.
Oh, okay.
It's huge. It's massive.
Yeah, I didn't know what function it was.
And the side that the steps are on, there's no parking. You have to park behind the museum. And then it's like a 15-minute walk to get to the front of the museum.
Yeah.
Next time we go down, I want to go actually in the museum because we didn't have time for that. It's an all day. It's
Yeah.
like the Met, MoMA. It's, it's an all day, possibly 2-day event to go through the museum. But I wanted to do the steps.
Why not? Rob, what'd you have to do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend?
How was the weather? Did you go to the lake?
Yeah, the lake was beautiful on Sunday. Really nice. Saturday, we actually went to the Wayne County Fair for the first time. I always wanted to go.
That's a
Check
big
it out.
deal.
And it was interesting. The people watching was a whole other level up there.
People watching?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not like you're at the Jersey Shore.
Huh.
There's a couple of gene pools that are missing
Oh,
in between.
I get you.
Yeah.
You're bringing in the Pennsyltucky
Oh,
play there.
lots of Tucky with little teeth.
It's bigger than our fair, right?
It is not.
It's not. I always thought it was.
Yeah, me too. And the problem is the way they have it set up, it's just long and narrow. So you're funneled down aisles that were just mobbed. And here's the other issue. We went the first day, opening day, and probably won't do that again. I don't know if we're going back again. It's cheap to get in. The food was expensive. The lines were ridiculous. And the people were a little crazy.
How's the traffic?
Normal. I mean, no worse than getting into our fair.
Because my brother-in-law lives past that, but works in Sussex County, so he does that as a commute.
Yeah, that's brutal.
I would
don't know
imagine
how he
Fair
does
Week is
that.
tough. Yeah.
I mean, we sat in traffic coming out of Honesdale for probably 15 minutes. So he's probably sitting in that on his way home. So that would be rough.
Yeah, well, he lives in Rileyville, which is like the McAfee to Honesdale,
Okay.
and so yeah, he drives right through there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a 70-mile one way. Oh, you used to do that, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a long way to go.
Long trip.
Yeah, that's
Commuting.
a long way.
So I've been following this Iran thing again. But
You didn't do anything this weekend?
no, absolutely did nothing. That's
Nothing
why
at
I didn't
all.
even bring it up.
You want to make something up?
No, I mean, I did nothing. Basically nothing.
Okay.
Nothing to report. So just staying around the house and doing things around the house. And boring. So what are you gonna do? I don't have.
You
an
could go do
interesting-
something.
I know. I haven't been able to do that. I got a lot of things going on, family issues that I'm working through, a lot of doctor's appointments and stuff. So that's been keeping me busy.
Isn't that crazy? I just canceled 2 doctor's appointments because I'm tired.
Yeah,
Tired of going.
yeah.
I get my knee shot on Friday. That I'll never cancel.
No,
But the other stuff, I'm just tired of
I'm
going.
doing stuff with my mother, and it's a lot.
Right.
So I mean, I can't travel like Mandami's wife. I mean, she's in Jordan and Syria now, the mayor of New York City. I'm sure everybody knows. I think it's kind of funny because when I hear defund the police and empty the prisons and everything else, she took New York detectives with her for protection, but she has to. Taxpayer dime. But she's got to visit. She's got to make her visitations.
Is
over
this
there.
a goodwill trip she's taking?
I don't know what you would call it. Is it,
Or pre-planning?
who she's visiting in 2 countries. I don't know if is she acting like an ambassador for New York? I don't know.
Well,
But
the taxpayers got to be thrilled.
I just kind of thought it was funny because they're such hypocrites about, we don't need the police and this and that. And then they're using New York City detectives to guard her over there. And your taxpayers are paying for the trip.
yeah, I'd like to know how much that is,
Well, it's-
and then ask the people of New York, do you think that, they're the first ones to step up and say, they could have used that money for this, they could have used that money for that,
Okay.
and now they're, they do the same
Now
thing.
I got something even better for you that you just triggered on me. I heard this today too. Robert De Niro's very upset with Mayor Mandami because he campaigned for him. He donated a lot of money to the campaign. He was out there, doing this thing, and his taxes went up, and he wanted to sit down with the mayor to discuss it, and the mayor refused to sit with him. So
There you go.
there you go, Mr. De Niro. You want to go to bat for all of these people, and you're not any better than anybody else paying taxes.
He also complained because he has that restaurant down in Tribeca, and he complained to the city that they weren't doing anything about the homeless. He's got homeless people living outside his restaurant, and he was upset about that.
Okay, well, these people. How do you feel sorry for people that are campaigning for this baloney? But I think it's hilarious. When I heard that, I was really happy about that.
Well, they all eventually, Barbara Streisand's coming out in defense of Fauci, that the Republicans are doing a witch hunt on a national hero. But meanwhile, it comes out that he knew that the vaccine could cause miscarriage.
Yeah.
But then came out and told pregnant women or women that are trying to get pregnant to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
It's when the truth comes out, they all end up with egg on their face because they picked the wrong fight. It just always seems like.
Well, that was all a conspiracy. I'm always going to believe that was just to get the mail-in votes, and the whole thing was part of the plan. But I'm still looking at this thing I started to say before. It's frustrating when I look at this Iran negotiation. Trump's the one saying it. We're halfway through. Yeah, halfway through nothing. They keep having skirmishes. Either do something or don't do
Right.
something. I'm getting tired of it, and I haven't been watching it as much because it's the same thing every day. I don't know.
I agree with you. We should have something by tomorrow, and that was 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Either fight or settle.
Yeah.
But I think they put up a tougher fight than they were expecting. And,
yeah, and I also think that they ran out of. They're trying to get their production back up on all
Right.
the weapons production, and now they're fighting with Congress for money too,
well, that's what these ceasefires are all about. Is
retooling,
Yeah.
rearming.
yes,
Yeah.
but but I listened now. So like today's primary in Wisconsin with that Francesca Hong, she's a whack job.
Yep.
I think she's running for governor just to get the medical benefits. To be honest with you, but you listen to these interviews, and this woman who's the co-chair of the DSA, who really like got him in a little bit of hot water being too honest in her interview with Piker. She was in another interview, and she said, "Well, what about taxing the rich?" And she said, "Oh yeah, we're going to tax the hell out of them." And the interviewer, I give him credit. He said, "Can you explain that? What do you mean by taxing the hell out of them?"
Yeah.
And by the way, it's not just billionaires anymore. It's back to millionaires. She couldn't answer the question. And she's like, well, and she laughed and she goes, it's democracy. That was her. It's because they have all these slogans and buzzwords and all these
But they
things
don't know
that are inflammatory.
but they don't know what it means.
They can't define it.
They can't define it.
And
Well, I saw AOC on something the other day too. She's fumbling and stumbling. They don't.
oh,
They better not put her up to debate because she'll never.
they will.
They'll have to hide her in with Biden
They will.
in the dungeon.
They this El Sayed in Michigan, he's the golden child now, and now he's saying, so everything I've seen of this guy, he walks out in a black muscle T-shirt, V-neck with gold chains, looking very Guido for a Muslim, and now he was a high school football player, wrestler, but now he's saying the NFL is toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
In Michigan, the home of the Detroit Lions and University of Michigan.
Yeah.
It's one of the most football crazy states in the country. And they just can't, and they all start to distance themselves. And if you notice, none of them are campaigning for this DSA hung in Wisconsin because they don't want to get involved in governor races. They only want to get involved in congressional races.
They don't want to run the state. They want to run the country.
They want to run the country.
Yeah.
They want the majority. That's what they want.
That's what they want because they don't want to run Wisconsin. They want to run the whole country, change the whole country. I mean, Dearborn, Michigan. We know that obviously that's where their base is for Muslim people.
Right.
The most. I mean, they won't even. If you walked outside with a sign, they're going to beat you up. But they're allowed to protest all the time. They have a group of people. I saw somebody getting beat up out there over the weekend, and the cops they were going to kill the guy, and the cops got him.
The thing I really don't, the one I really don't understand, and he's spineless, is Schumer. Because here's a guy who is anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian, and said that America deserved 9/11.
What was his name?
This is El Sayed.
Oh, I thought the guy he hangs out with was the.
Well, that was Piker.
Piker, yeah.
Who campaigned with him, but he didn't disagree with him. Like he stayed right with him.
Yeah.
And Schumer has no backbone.
But Chuck Schumer, no.
Because him and Jeffries, all they care about are the seats.
They don't care who sits there.
Whose ass is sitting in them. They don't care. They don't care how it hurts the country. They don't care.
No, they don't care.
They want the majority. It's almost getting comical.
Yeah. But I've been watching this WNBA stuff now, and again, it keeps every week. And I like the league, but the league is getting ridiculous. What they did to Sophie Cunningham, just Dijani, what was her last name?
Carrington.
I mean, it was a flagrant foul. Okay, she got thrown out of the game.
She should be suspended.
She should be suspended. But what bothered me is even Sophie Cunningham's coach didn't back her up. She kind of raced over it.
Nobody did.
Nobody backed her up, but your coach.
Her own teammates didn't.
But you would think her coach would have.
You would think, except her coach used to be the coach of Carrington.
Oh, is that? I didn't know that. Okay.
and that's why she's like, well, she's a hard player, and she's not going to let anyone walk up to a layup. And that was her answer. But her own teammates, when Sophie got back up and got in Carrington's face, her one teammate pulled her away. But could you imagine in the NFL or in the NBA, one of your star players gets knocked on their ass? You don't think the teammates are going to go and get in the person's face? It happens in the NFL every week.
Yeah.
Nobody defended her.
But then she goes on the internet and says white privilege. So she had a whole different. She just toasted herself because they said it was a basketball play. But then if it's a basketball play, then why are you going on and making a comment about white privilege?
Did you hear her response to that?
Vaguely.
We're just assuming she meant.
Oh, that's
that.
right. Yeah.
And that she's highly educated, and she knows what white privilege means. And if anyone thinks that that's what she meant, you're just assuming that.
Yeah, well, it's funny because as soon as she got out of the game, she posted it
in the locker room
when you're mad,
right.
So, but I thought the coach did a bad job on that. But it's really getting to the point. And then now, I don't know if these guys are doing it just because.
Well, before you move on to that part,
yeah,
because this leads into it.
Go ahead.
Today, the commission was having a meeting to define what the W in WNBA means.
Yeah.
Now, imagine that.
They have
Your
to have a
league
meeting.
is called WNBA, and how many years they've been in?
And the board of directors
20 years?
40 years.
40 years?
And the board of directors has to have a meeting to define what that means now.
Yes.
And I think that these guys, the one guy, Enes Kanter, played for the Knicks.
Yeah, and
now,
the Celtics.
I think they're just doing that to show it's ridiculous. I don't think they show that, so that means I can play in the league. I think they're trying to make it look. I mean, I didn't see anything on them. They're not transgender.
No, they're identifying.
They're identifying,
and
now.
that's all that you need. Now, but
isn't that to show how ridiculous it is?
But now there's a push for this Julie Tétart in France. She plays in the European League. She's transgender. Like, she's legit transgender.
Uh-huh.
And she's a star over there. And she's a beast. She's big. I mean, she's 6'3", but she's built. And now there's a push. She should come to the WNBA. Maybe one of the teams should go after her.
They're ruining the league. Finally, when the league has actually got some traction here, they hate the people that came in, like, Caitlin Clark. They gotten more money. They got a nice contract now.
They're flying charter.
They're flying charter. They weren't doing that before.
No.
And so all the success that they've had, they're ruining it.
And they're going from salaries of 30, 40 grand to six figures.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you notice, it's just, I think Caitlin Clark's been a little quiet.
She's trying not to get.
But defend her teammate. Nobody has defended her more than Sophie Cunningham on the court. Yeah. She gets right in their faces when somebody fouls Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
I just don't think Sophie Cunningham is getting the support from her team that she should be getting.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
But I did a little look. So Freedom is 6'10", and White is 6'8". Now they're both 250, 260 pounds. They're big guys. There's only two that I could find even close to them in the WNBA, and that's Griner. And the Chinese woman, Jan Chu, that plays on the Liberty, she's 6'11". But they're not. I mean, she's 6'11", but she weighs like 180 pounds.
Yeah.
They're going to get their butts handed to them.
Well, they shouldn't be allowed to be in there. Can't allow it.
But you got to back up. You don't get. No, I agree with you. It shouldn't be allowed. But they're making the rules. They're making the rules.
Well, they're going to ruin the whole thing.
Yes, and I still can't believe that the WNBA is not speaking up.
Because
the NBA.
This girl, what's her name? Carrington. She lost a sponsor already. She lost a sponsorship on one of the sneaker deals.
She thought Cunningham should have gotten ejected too, because when Cunningham got up, she got in her face.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do?
What are you supposed to do?
All right, thank you. Let me go back to the bench. I don't like it, and but, and I liked watching that, but now it's a hatchet league, and then they're allowing it to happen.
They've become thugs.
Yeah, certain group of
Just
them.
since last year,
Yeah.
they've become thugs.
Yep.
And it's a shame because I enjoy putting it on once in a while.
Yeah.
But I'm going to admit though, I mean, I was a fan of Rebecca Lobo. All right. Because when that started, when she was at UConn, I lived in Springfield, Mass. And she was from Southwick, which is the next town.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of ink on her in our local paper and what have you. So I've followed her for a lot of her career. And then she got me watching UConn girls, which was amazing.
Yeah,
to
they were
watch.
good. Yeah, I watched some of that.
And it's a shame what it's become.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with this, but we'll see how their meeting turns out. I'm sure I'd like to hear or get the minutes on that meeting.
I got to be honest with you. I think I know the answer.
What are they going to say W stands
No,
for?
I think I know what a woman is.
Oh, I think I do too.
I've based most of my life on it.
Yeah, I think I do. But I mean, who knows what's going to come out of it? Anyway, the Yankees and the Mets. Let's talk about them. The Yankees haven't been doing that well, even though they've won 15 games in the last 20, 25. They're kind of just treading water, waiting for Judge to come back. They won 2 or 3 from, the Braves are a pretty good team. They won 2 or 3. They lost 2 or 3 to the Cards on the homestand. But in the last 22 games, Rice has cooled off. He's got 169 average, 3 homers and 7 RBIs. He's kind of cooled down. But they're pitching around him a lot because you don't have Judge or Bellinger in the lineup. So now the guys around him, they're trying to pitch to them more. They're not giving him everything to hit. So that kind of, brings his production down. And in the last 12 games, they've scored 2 runs or less. Like
Right.
they're not scoring more than 3.
Right.
So I mean, their pitching's good, but they're not getting any runs. Their pitching's been pretty consistent. They're keeping their teams down, but they're losing 2-0, 2-1 when they lose.
I think they're lucky the rest of the league, the rest of the American League, isn't doing anything either, except for Boston.
Yeah.
And Boston's now only 2 games behind them.
Yep. And yeah, they've been playing the National League.
And the Rays kicked it up again.
Yeah, they did.
The Rays are good again.
They're 6 up now. They came back. They were down 8. They scored 8 runs yesterday. They were down, and they won the game. The Mets, they won 2 out of 3 out of the Pirates. They also won last night. They beat the Braves. They've been hitting the ball well. But they're still 16 games under 500, 15 games, something like that. After all their trades and all, and I don't know if it's because sometimes you play better when there's no more pressure. Like, they're out of the race. But then you get sometimes, now I'm starting to see, if they keep winning like this, but they got to win like 30. They got to go with like 35-9 to be back in the picture.
They're making a comeback. They're 6-4 the last 10. They're making a comeback.
Yeah.
They're on their way.
But
watch out. The rest of the National League better be looking over their shoulders.
They're scoring a lot of runs, but the only silver lining, as I've been telling some of my Met fans, is that their young kids that they brought up are playing well. Like they were able to bring up a couple of guys that are playing well. Ewing and Benj, his name is their names, outfielders.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean,
not to go back to the Yankees, but
yeah.
I read an interview with Cashman today, and everything about Judge, talking about Judge, and all they keep saying is we believe this, we believe that. I'll tell you what I believe. He's not coming back this year. If he does, it's for the playoffs.
It's on the table because he's not even swinging a bat yet, and it's
he's
almost
been cleared.
Yeah, but he's just running.
Right.
You're talking
conditioning.
You're just about at the middle of August.
Yes.
So if they give him clearance in September, so Labor Day, we can start swinging the bat. You're right. He's on target to come back the last week of the season, going into the playoffs.
And they'll probably send him to AAA for a week to work out.
I don't know if they would do that. You know why?
That's what they did with Jeter.
Yeah, they might, but I don't. Whether they do that or not, I don't know. But you might be right.
But you're running out of time.
You're running out of time. And he even said that the other day. He goes, I got to, I'm trying to ramp it up because we're running out of games.
But Cashman was very clear. They don't want him to get hurt again because of conditioning reasons and because he hasn't played in so long. So
Yeah, because you could hurt your. I mean, you could re-injure your ribs. I mean,
I very easily.
Yeah.
I think if, to me, my impression, my gut feeling, I'm not basing this on any fact.
you have no inside information.
I have no inside information this time.
Okay.
Sometimes I do. I knew LeBron was going to the Sixers. So
That's why you went to Philly. I thought you were going to interview him, but didn't bring nothing back.
it was already a done deal.
You didn't bring nothing back for the show. I thought maybe you would get a sit down with him.
I was
Rob, didn't you think he was going to bring something back from that?
I thought he was going to do something, Paul. Yeah.
well, Governor Shapiro sandbagged me. They ran into each other at a restaurant. I wasn't expecting that. That wasn't in the plan. But if they bring him back, they'll bring him back as a DH in the playoffs. Because I think throwing is going to be a problem for him.
What do you do with Stanton if he comes back?
Well, you're going to have to rotate him. You're going to play the Chili Davis rule
Yeah.
every other game.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be tough.
I just don't see them jeopardizing him for another injury.
Yeah. I can't argue with that. I mean,
I
like you said, you're running out of time.
But they know how good the team is.
Yeah.
They know what they're going to do. But we'll see.
Yep.
So you've been watching the Westies?
Yes. I'm caught up.
You and I are big fans of the Westies.
Yeah, and you know what? The reason
Not fans of their behavior.
No, but I mean,
But
we like all the
gangland stuff.
we like all the gangster stuff. We pretty much understand the Italian stuff. So and you and I both knew because you gave me the book. I read the Westies.
Yeah,
and you
great
gave me
book.
the Sam Giancana book. I read that.
T.J. English.
We do all of that. I did all of that. So it wasn't like we didn't know. I like to watch it.
Right.
And some of the interesting things I took out of it so far. I think John Gotti, the guy playing John Gotti, he's got him down to a
He's fantastic.
down to a T.
He's perfect. Yeah.
Down to a T.
Probably the best casting in the entire show.
Yeah, and he's the younger John, like he's the younger version,
Yes.
the underboss John
He's
Gotti,
the 1980
dealing with
version.
the Irish, and just sort of you and I know. I mean, the Westies worked for the Gambinos in a capacity. That's what this is about so far.
Well, they're playing a little loose with the timeline, which is, miniseries shows they do that when something is historically you can fact check it,
Right.
Because you've got now Sweeney, J.K. Simmons, that's Mickey Spillane,
Right.
okay, and then
And you got
obviously Jimmy Rourke is Coonan. And Mickey Flynn. I mean, they're not even trying to like.
Well, the names are
Be
the first
clever.
names are right.
Right. But I think what ties their hands a little bit on what they can portray is that Coonan and Featherstone are still alive.
Right.
So they have to be careful with how they're portrayed. Now, Coonan's still doing life in prison. Featherstone went in witness protection. I actually don't know if he's still alive, but he most likely could be. There's no record of him dying. And usually dying is the end of your witness protection. So if you're dead, they kind of tell you. But Gotti, Castellano, and Ruby Stein, who was brought into the show, are all dead. Now the thing is in real life, Coonan kills Ruby Stein in 1977.
But this show, they're in 1977, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of so it's a little off.
And
But Ruby Stein, was that his real? Who was he portraying?
he was the loan shark.
Yeah, but was
That's a real guy.
that's his real name.
That's a real guy. Yeah.
But he was in with all the bosses. That's why
Yes.
he wasn't intimidated by these guys coming in there and asking for money and everything.
He was kind of like Meyer Lansky
Yeah.
in the sense that he's on par with the bosses, but could not get in because he's Jewish. And that's what Lansky was. Lansky was the most powerful mob boss in the country, but he wasn't in the mob technically because he was Jewish and wasn't allowed in.
Right.
So there you have 1977, and they're kind of getting, and when Gotti started doing the coke and going up against Castellano, that was more 1980. So they're kind of juggling a little bit.
Yeah.
But and when the Westies first started working for the Italians, it was the Genovese family, Roy DeMeo and the Genovese family. But that's not even acknowledged.
But I remember when they were building the Javits Center back in the 70s. I remember when that was going on, and it was always talk about how they're all organized crime is in there, involved in.
Oh,
that.
yeah, and they fought over it, and
Yeah.
they all wanted a piece of it. Anello Della Croce,
Yeah.
who was Castellano's underboss,
Right.
and he's the one that got passed up
Got passed up.
for Castellano
Right.
by Gambino. I think he is mentioned. I think he's mentioned a little bit, but they don't call him Anello, obviously. But he Castellano's right hand guy who kind of walked the line between Castellano and Gotti because he
Yeah.
needed to stay in Gotti's good graces.
Yeah.
So there's an older guy that's kind of Gotti's sidekick. He always seems to have a shotgun in his hand in the show. I think that's supposed to be Della Croce.
I don't think so. Because he was him and Castellano were on the same level under Carlo.
Right.
So he was over. If you watch,
He was over Gotti.
Yeah, but I think that movie Gotti with Amano Sante
Yeah.
was the best. And even Michael Francis says that that's the best mob movie because that really
Sante did a great job in
great.
it.
But there was a lot of great people in there. Victor Pastor
Yeah.
was in it. Vincent Pastor. God rest his
R.I.P.
soul.
Yep.
But watching this, you could see how Gotti, and he was at his club, the
Bergen Hunt and Fish
Yeah,
Club.
yeah.
Yep.
But I thought he was just, and he portrayed the underboss to Castellano to a T. Like he was not happy with him, and he was still going to do his thing. And
Yeah. Well, I mean, Gambino stepped over Della Croce to promote Castellano.
Yeah.
And Della Croce had sour grapes over that, obviously.
yeah, he did.
But
he was a loyal. He was a loyal soldier. He didn't. Yeah.
Right. I did get a kick out of when Jimmy and Mickey were taken to see Gotti,
Yeah.
and they walk out, and Gotti's like, "All right, I'll see you later." And they look, she says, "Where the hell are we?"
Yeah.
Because they were in
Yeah.
Ozone Park.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where the hell are we?"
Yeah. We're in Guineaville or something. He said.
But I think it's entertaining, and J.K. Simmons is always great. He's money
great.
in the bank.
Yeah.
Money in the bank.
And I think the story's pretty good. Like you said, you're not going to learn anything new. But I didn't realize. I thought they were just muscle for the Gambinos, contract killers for the Gambinos. But then Gotti's trying to get them to be the seller of the drugs so
Right.
he could stay off the hook with his boss.
Right.
Because he didn't care about what these guys were doing. But he kind of forced them into it. But yeah, I don't know if there's 10 episodes.
There's
or what.
8, I think. There's
So
2 more.
only 2 more. So
Yeah. I mean, I'm Titus Welliver, who plays Carney, the dirty cop.
yeah.
He played Bosch. I don't know if you ever watched that show. That was a really good show, by the way.
What show?
Bosch. B-O-S-C-H.
I
Bosch.
never heard of it.
He plays an LAPD detective, homicide
He was in a
detective.
lot of movies, though.
But this was, he actually had 2 series playing this character. The Lincoln Lawyer?
Yeah.
You're the Lincoln Lawyer?
Yeah.
Well, Michael Connolly wrote those books. Well, the original books were Bosch. And Harry Bosch is the Lincoln Lawyer's half brother. Kind of how it ties in. And in the TV series, Bosch was played as a woman. She walked up to him at the end of the last season and said, "I'm your sister." That's supposed to be Harry Bosch. But anyway, Titus Welliver, great actor. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
And I think he's really good in this show.
Yeah, I think so, too. I've been watching the start of The Lioness now. That's fantastic. The 3rd season.
We saw the first season. We've never caught up.
Yeah, well, I won't say nothing about it, but you got to catch up the 2nd season. But the first 2 episodes of the 3rd season were just like great. I mean, and there's great. I mean, you got great actors in there. You got Nicole Kidman and Zoe Saldana and Travis. What's his name? Taylor Sheridan. Like I said,
Yeah.
Travis because he was Travis in Yellowstone.
Right.
He's actually doing a lot of acting in it in a lot of the scenes.
In the 3rd season?
Yeah. He in the 2nd season he was in it. He's one of the commandos.
Yeah.
But I thought that was great too. And now you got Mobland's coming back in September.
Great show.
Season 2 of that. So he's juggling all these different series, Taylor Sheridan.
Is
And-
Mobland one of his shows too?
I don't think Mobland was his.
Okay. I didn't think so.
No, but I'm saying, but the other shows, like they were saying, when is Landman coming back? Well, he's working on Lioness. He's working on,
Oh, November.
yeah. But I don't
next
know.
season
If
of
they, said,
Landman.
they said they're not sure. It might be delayed. But then
Oh.
the 1943 edition of Yellowstone never came out yet.
That's supposed to be later in the fall, too?
Yeah, because that's going to bridge the gap between Yellowstone original
Right.
and then the prequel of 23.
23.
Yeah. You had
Yeah.
1883, you had 23, now you're going to have 40,
43.
So they're bridging the gap with all the characters. It's hey, he's got a gold mine there. And he bought that 4-6's ranch, $300 million. He said, I got to start making more shows. Well, he's done it.
So somebody told me, and obviously I don't know if it's true, but I thought it was a pretty good point. So he's got the TV show 4-6 is supposed to come out at some point, and Dutton Ranch is being filmed in Texas,
That's right. That's the other one. Yeah.
and it cuts down on production costs.
Yeah. Yep. Because
It makes sense,
yeah,
because he actually rents out the 4-6's ranch that he owns to the production company
right,
that he owns.
right,
He pays himself
right. It's all different companies.
to use the ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing it right.
So I guess we'll see next week. Football's starting to ramp up, Dan. I know it's your favorite part of the season, preseason.
Well, they did the Hall of Fame game. Who won that? It was the Panthers.
I didn't watch the game. I think the Panthers won by 3 points. But one of our friends sent me this. See, you're gonna love it. And it started. George started this on. You might have seen this. I don't know if you have this, but
I'm not on the thread.
all right. Comparisons. I'm going to go back to this, and I've been getting comments because O'Keefe is on this, and he doesn't like Eli Manning. Eli Manning's stats: 57,023 passing yards, 366 touchdowns, 7 seasons. Let's see, 7 4,000-yard seasons, 2 Super Bowls, not in the Hall of Fame. Jim Kelly, 35,467, 22,000 less, 237 touchdowns, no 4,000-yard passing seasons, no Super Bowl MVPs. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
I rest my case. That's what I said in the text. But that's an argument for another day. But since you brought it up, and he's not. Now you got other quarterbacks that are going to bump him out of the way because Ben Roethlisberger is coming up next year. He was great in the regular season, and he was great. He had great teams every year. Well, we can get into this another day, but
All right. For the record, I'm not the one that brought it up.
no, I brought it up just because.
Okay. But I think Eli should be in the Hall.
I know.
I think it's just fun poking the bear with you once in a while. But I watched Drew Brees get inducted. That's the only one I watched. Where are they having that?
Canton.
But they don't have it on the front steps anymore.
Well,
They're in some kind of stadium.
I didn't watch it. I won't watch 1 second of it. So
Because Eli's not
absolutely not.
in? Okay.
So, that's it. To be determined.
I guess I'm in a better position because I don't care.
Right.
So
So if you don't care, everything's open to you.
well, I'm still allowing myself to be entertained.
I don't. Did you? Well, Vinatieri, he made a jerk out of himself. He thought he was a stand-up comedian.
With Peyton, Vinatieri said he thanked Peyton for lending his forehead as a teleprompter.
I don't know if he said that, but
Yeah,
I
I
saw
saw
a
it.
clip. He was making fun of Belichick's girlfriend, and he said
Yeah.
something about something else stupid, off the color thing.
Yeah, he did say that. I saw the clip.
Okay.
But
It is what it is. Rob, you got anything to add to this conversation?
Nope.
You didn't
I'm
watch
good.
the Hall of Fame thing?
No, I didn't watch the Hall of Fame.
Well, there's
part.
always next year.
Yeah, maybe.
you got anything, Rob?
No.
Okay.
I'm
I think
good.
we'll leave it there, Rob.
Okay.
Say it.
Bye.
Bye.